Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Andrew. Thanks to Stable Events for giving me the opportunity to present you some exciting new facility products that we're developing in an education setting. But first, a bit of history. So 1896, the birthplace of the modern Olympics in Athens on the left, Sports City in Manchester on the right. Not a lot has changed in terms of facility provision over the last century. But we've changed as a sport, and we're keen to innovate and develop a new generation of facilities that will inspire people of all ages and abilities to participate in physical activity and help them meet their own personal goals, whether it's just getting active or whether it's sporting achievements. As a sport, we're much more than just competitive opportunities. We teach the basics of run, jump and throw, all essential movements and physical literacy skills. And all importantly part of Sport England's new strategy of uniting the movement. Indeed, England Athletics, who I work for, we have a phonetics programme targeting 4 to 11-year-olds and specifically looking to deliver on elements of Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2. So we hope to inspire all young pupils to succeed and excel in competitive sport, but also, as I say, to improve physical literacy. Clearly, not many schools have the space or budget to install a 6-lane, 400-metre athletics track, and actually is a 400-metre track the best environment for inspiring the youth of today. I remember when I first started running and turning up at a big track, it was potentially quite a scary thing that may scare some people off. So having fit for purpose, cost-effective, inspiring facilities is really important and something that we really want to drive forward. So in conjunction with myself, UK Athletics, England Athletics, LK2 Architects, Polytan Sport Surfacing and Midstream Lighting, we looked at how we could redesign new facilities for a new generation, inspiring appropriate facilities for the future. And we've developed a facility toolkit that gives you out there, the audience, the ability to create your own facility that'll meet your own specific needs for your school or college, but also hopefully the wider needs of the community. Okay, so here's some of the kit of parts that we've developed. You don't have to stick rigidly to this, and you can pick and choose whichever works for your particular environment. But you can see working around the slide, you can see jumps. You don't have to have a full-blown long jump pit. There's jumps rainbows that we've integrated as part of the toolkit. Multifunctional areas, so it's not just about track and field athletics. There can be areas where you can just do physical activity, lessons, classes, sporting activities. In its simplest format, if you've just got a bit of space or in your school area, you could have a line around the school marking a Daily Mile route, or a synthetic surface, which if you've got, like my son's school, a muddy field, an option is to cut in a synthetic surface, so at least you've got some type of all-weather surface to run around and do some physical activity during the day. Working round towards the bottom right, you've got a compact facility, essentially a sprint straight, some storage areas where you can pull out high jump mats and keep equipment, and maybe even some basic throws provision. We're certainly not advocating throwing big heavy hammers and javelins in the schoolyard, but some basic low-level throwing to get the fundamentals of how to throw, whether that's a tennis ball or a soft hammer, something like that. So yeah, lots of different options to look at. But in the simplest format, one area that has been successful, I'm sure you're all aware of, is the Daily Mile. So there's some examples of the Daily Mile here, and as I say, you don't have to have a full-blown athletics track to do the Daily Mile. You can have a hard-standing macadam surface, or as you can see on some of the slides there, a cut-in synthetic, basically a rubber stone mix, where you just cut into the turf, lay the surface, leave it to cure, hopefully good weather in this country, for a day or two, and then hey presto, you've got a route that the whole school and hopefully the community can use as well. It's quite a simple process. At the lower level, you can have a rubber mulch, but then there's more advanced synthetic surfaces that are more akin to an athletics facility. So the video that's just going to run in a second, this will show you a school in Newcastle, which our partners Polytan Sports Surfacing were involved in. So a great little project there in Newcastle, and as you can see there was a court alongside the running loop. The feedback from that facility has been fantastic, and it's engaged the pupils and the teachers alike. As I say, if you've got the space at your school, then it could just be the loop. Obviously, they had space for a multi-sport court area there as well. So that was a nice blue colour. Other colours are available. So yeah, looking at beyond, if there's a bit more budget or a bit more scope in terms of the area that's available, there's a good example of what we term a compact athletics facility. So the next slide is going to show a typical schoolyard, I guess, that was at a school in Stoke Newington in London. So you can see from the slides, the top slide, that's how it was pre the compact facility being installed. Just a yard area where at break time the kids used to roll out and kick about a football, play a bit of basketball at one of the courts, and then go back in. So we worked with Sport England to develop the compact model. You can see the central picture at the bottom is how it was, and the slide to the right, you can just about make out the track post install. But the next slide, I think, shows you how it brings it to life. So the facility was built back in 2013, the first of its kind. It was opened by Christina Hurrogou, who you can see in the centre picture there, former GB athlete. And just the colours and the facilities, as I said previously, the run, jump, throw facilities have been superb for the school. The school absolutely love it. There's a community club base there, and it's just really engaged the whole area. And it was something that was funded via Sport England and London Marathon Community Trust. I would call it an all singing, all dancing facility. So it had everything. But as I said previously, it's very much a kit of parts, and you can take whichever bit you think would work in your setting and create your own unique facility. As I say, that was 2013. One thing we've looked to develop since then is more of an oval facility. So that was a sprint straight within a school setting, and that was kind of dictated by the space of the schoolyard. This next slide shows some mini tracks in Norway. So they're called Friplassen, which is free play, and basically the mini 200-meter tracks, but they're very, very much geared up for junior development and early years development. So you can see, for example, in the top middle slide, there's a throws area, throw slope. So you very cleverly, you throw your little shot put up the hill, it rolls back down. You don't have to wander into an infield to go and fetch it back. And the teacher or the coach can teach the fundamentals of throwing. Equally for the track, there's 4 lanes going into 4 different pits around the side. So rather than queue up and wait to jump your turn in freezing conditions and then get one jump in every 5 minutes. Everyone is having the opportunity to have multiple jumps and do things and enjoy the session and get more out of the session. So it's just a great facility designed for development as opposed to competition, which is what traditional athletics facilities are designed for. Taking that, so that's the Norwegian model. The next slide shows what our partner Polyton has done in Europe and in the States. So we'd like to take a different colour and try and jazz things up and make it look a little bit different from a traditional athletics facility, and just really pick up on the fun, enjoyment element of athletics, track and field, and just moving and having fun. So you can see some of the designs here are quite unique, quite different. If the facility is to be used by the community, then inside the oval you've got an area there that can be used for all sorts of things, whether it's physical activity, whether it's an outside gym, whether it's CrossFit, anything like that can be placed in the middle. The only limit really is your imagination and what the groups that you think would be able to use it or would make use of it. So yeah, fantastic facility, and these are exactly the sorts of things we're looking at rolling out across the UK. The next slide shows a particular project that is being developed by LK2, who we're partnering with. So you can see non-traditional colour in terms of track, green to link in with the surroundings, but it doesn't just have to be an oval. You can see at the slide at the picture at the bottom right, there's some play areas, some climbing areas. The track doesn't have to be flat, it can be undulating, just a different facility to appeal to a new market and hopefully encourage new people to take part in athletics and running. The last slide, I'm just going to mention the importance to us of lighting. I appreciate this probably isn't going to happen in all settings, but we certainly will promote schools and colleges opening up their facilities for the community, for community use, and for all year round community use. So lighting then becomes a key component of that, and making sure that appropriate lighting is available for your facility. So again, our partners Midstream, brilliant, are coming up with affordable, innovative solutions that would meet the demands of your particular facility in your particular school. So that's it, Andrew. Thanks for the opportunity to present. Happy to take any questions you might have.